I'm Faceless Reviews, some people, retarded hamster, and...
Hey, what are you doing? That's my camera.
Oh, what do you mean?
That's my camera.
This is mine. No, this is mine! So I took my camera and most of my library of games, so now I'm just stuck with my N64 and all of my N64 library, which is not a lot. Why don't we review something that he reviewed, and that review was also f***ing terrible? Hexen 64! Hexen 64. A port of the MS-DOS game that was actually pretty good, and that Epic reviewed. It was freaking awful, and it makes me want to die. This game also had a port on the PS1 and Sega Saturn, and except those ones don't have the awful texture filtering that every N64 game has. But apparently, this one is actually fairly bad according to Stop Skeleton from Fighting. Let's see how bad this one is. 3.7 on IGN, 5.0 on GameSpot, 2 stars on a website that I don't remember. What the f*** is going on? This game is more mixed than South Park on the same system. Is the game really that bad? Well, why don't we find out? Hexen 64, released in 1997, made by Raven Software, and is an okay game. Okay, we can't just give out the rating already, but it is okay. Let's start off with the sound. The thing that you notice at first. It does not sound good, no pun intended. Mainly the music. It doesn't sound good at all. And it was made by Aubrey Hodges. Wait a minute, what? I thought his music was atmospheric and good, like in Doom 64 and Quake 64. Okay, aside from that, there are 3 characters. The fighter with no magic and he gets up close and dirty. The mage. It's a mage that mages magic like mages do, far away. And the cleric is the retarded cousin of the 2 of them. Both melee and has the pew pew stuff that I don't know what they are because they aren't guns. When you choose one of them, you're put in the game. And why are there loading screens? This is on the N64! You know the thing that uses cartridges? I hear you say,
oh yeah, Quake 64 also has loading screens.
And yeah, I have no arguments with that, that's just as annoying. When the game finally loads, you notice, this game looks terrible. This game looks extremely crummy and monochromatic, with this ugly texture filtering. And also, the texture filtering. Jesus Christ, that looks awful. I'm one of those people who hate texture filtering, so I think that most N64 games look awful. And also, the game runs pretty bad. It runs 10 times better than GoldenEye and Perfect Dark. Also, low frame rates are extremely expected on the Nintendo 64. There are 12 weapons. All of them suck. Except for the axe, that one's actually pretty good, not gonna lie. And also, at times during the animations, they start clipping at the top of the screen. The maps are mazy as f***, and I just use no clip off for some of them. Oh yeah, the difficulty. Since I suck at video games, and I'm using 3 bananas connected to each other, this game is pretty hard, so I just use cheats. I don't care if you use cheats, and I don't care if you think I'm a retard because I use cheats. I honestly don't care about your f***ing opinion, so I use cheats. Big whoop. And I still find that it's hard to navigate around, mainly because the controls are so fucking awful. There is the D-pad controls, where everything is just trying to fumble around with button combinations. And the analog stick controls are the best in my opinion, mainly because I play a lot of GoldenEye and Perfect Dark. But these controls still don't feel right. The fact that C, left, and right aren't strafe, and looking up and down is on the D-pad makes everything a chore and a half. There is a strafe on button with the Z button, which, not gonna lie, kinda like. Makes it a bit easier to move around, except this button is a modifier, so when you want to switch weapons while strafing, you go through your inventory full of items like torches and potions. Oh yeah, the inventory system, the defining feature of this game. You use items to give yourself temporary power-ups. such as full lighting with the torch, or maybe throw a green potion to blow everything the f*** up. Also, saving requires a memory card, and it also requires so many pages! So now I need 2 memory cards just for my other games, and 1 is for Hexen! Like, where am I supposed to save my Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2 when 90 pages are taken up? However, there is a way they did to fix this, and it is to add quick saves. You don't even need a memory card for that. However, the big downside for that is that it doesn't last. When you turn off the game, say goodbye to your save file. And also, there's no passwords at all. Quake 64 had passwords, and GoldenEye had battery backup, and Perfect Dark had the option for memory cards with battery backup too.
So, in conclusion, the N64 port ain't that good. Of course, the graphics, frame rate, and stuff like that are expected, but there are also other things that they just buggered up that I just can't find easy to recommend. No, it is a fun game, don't get me wrong. I love me some bad games. That's coming out of a person who enjoyed Wii Music and Driver 3. And also, I like me some crappy ports, you know? Quake 64 is a really fun game, yet also not that good. So if you're like me and pretty retarded and love himself some crappy ports, then I guess I could recommend it to you, but if you're a pro gamer and the only games you play are good, like Minecraft and Tetris, then no, don't get this. If you're a pro gamer and you're playing Minecraft and Tetris, why are you playing on the N64? I'm a retarded hamster. I want to go back in my hamster ball and I need my camera back.